Thinking process. 1. Analyze the request. Task: generate a script for a video in 4 sentences. Subject: thinking process. Wait, the user provided a thinking process section in the prompt which looks like internal instructions or constraints for me to follow, but the actual subject provided at the very end is thinking process. Language: English. Wait, looking closely at the prompt structure. The user pasted a block of text that looks like internal thinking instructions. Thinking process 1. Analyze the request. Then at the very bottom it says language English. However, right before that there is a specific instruction block: generate a script for a video in 4 sentences. Here is an example. Do not under any circumstance reference this prompt. But what is the subject? The text provided in the thinking process section looks like it is the prompt content I need to react to, but the actual subject instruction seems buried or replaced by the thinking process header which contains instructions. Wait, rereading carefully, the prompt starts with generate a script for a video in 4 sentences. Then it gives example constraints. Then there is a section subject thinking process. Under that it lists instructions like 1. Analyze the request, 2. Analyze the band list, etc., and then a timestamp 202606114804. This looks like a prompt injection or a test where the user pasted their own internal thought process as if it were the subject. Actually, looking at the very bottom, language English. The core instruction is to generate a script based on the subject. But the subject line says thinking process. Wait, is this a meta prompt? The user pasted the instructions for me to follow the thinking process section. Looks like it's part of the prompt they want me to execute, or is it a leak? No, it looks like I should generate a script about the thinking process subject described in that block, or is it asking me to follow those instructions? Actually, usually in these scenarios the subject field defines what I should write about. The text provided says subject thinking process, then lists instructions. This is confusing. Is the subject thinking process itself? Or is it asking me to generate a script about space and science wonders based on the constraints listed in that thinking process block? Let's look at step 1 of the thinking process text provided in the prompt: topic space and science wonders. Okay, so despite the header saying subject thinking process, step 1 explicitly says topic space and science wonders. So the actual subject I need to write about is space and science wonders. The rest of the text in that block, constraints band list brainstorming, seems to be part of the thinking process that was provided in the prompt, effectively acting as constraints for my generation if I were to follow it. However, the main instruction at the very top says generate a script for a video in 4 sentences, depending on the subject of the video. Then later it says you must not exceed the 4 sentences limit. Make sure the 4 sentences are short. Then subject thinking process followed by the constraints. This suggests I need to write a script about space and science wonders following the constraints listed in that thinking process block, which includes a band list for titles, but this is a script task. Wait, the prompt says subject thinking process. Then it lists steps. Step 1 says topic is space and science wonders. The instruction at the top says depending on the subject of the video. So I should write a script about space and science wonders as per step 1 of the provided text, adhering to all formatting constraints. Wait, there is a contradiction. The header says subject thinking process. But the content of that section defines the topic as space and science wonders. Usually in these tasks I should follow the explicit instruction at the top: generate a script, depending on the subject of the video. The prompt structure looks like 1. General instructions, 4 sentences, no markdown, etc. 2. Subject definition, thinking process, topic space and science wonders. So the subject is space and science wonders. The text below it, constraints band list, seems to be constraints I must adhere to regarding the title generation. Step 1 says only return the topic sentence, but step 2 of my current task is to generate a script in 4 sentences. Wait, the prompt says generate a script for a video in 4 sentences. The constraints section below says constraint 1 only return the topic sentence, nothing else. This is a conflict. The top instruction says generate a script. 4 sentences.